good evening. Once again, this Von Rushford Jr. Doing yet another YouTube video. And so, for the past few weeks, I've been kind of busy. So, but as I said in one of my recent videos, in one of my previous videos, I said I was going to do a DVD review about Shawn Michaels. I said that, and it was like in one of the Shawn Michaels videos I did. And so, here's a review. I got the DVD like a few weeks ago, and so it's for his last one, it was called My Journey. Yeah, so I got this around the same time like on my PlayStation 3. And so anyway, this video is more so an in-depth look, at his career, more, more, it puts more emphasis on his matches, whereas as far as the Heartbreak and Triumph DVD, put more so the emphasis on both his career and his life even outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? Not only it puts more perspective per se. Of course, from his beginnings, as a kid to like when he really first started. He's like 19, 20 years old and everything. To eventually how him and Marty Jannetty formed the Rockers and all that stuff. All the way trickling down to to like the as far as like giving more details. As far as like how he became the Heartbreak Kid and how he started up and moved up the ranks and stuff like that. To eventually how his career in his life just went rock bottom, and he gave his life over to Christ, and came back and just rejuvenated that whole thing. So that DVD, it was done in 2007. So it was basically everything from the time he first started all the way up to 2007, which is obviously before he grew the beard and all that stuff. But anyway, this DVD, is more so this one. Puts more, like I say, all three discs, all three discs are just nothing but, just pure matches, and this more so, it's a commentary per se, an interview that Michael Cole does with him, and I'll admit, Michael Cole, actually did like a pretty good job in my view, and so, I'm looking here, and I was going, when I was watching it a while back, and like shortly after I got it. And like on disc one, talks about like how he first started a match against the One Man Gang, back in '85, and then a few matches with with the Rockers, of course, in disc one. And the thing that I like also, like at the end of disc one, especially like I'm more so a fan of just the Heartbreak Kid character. And so but I'll admit the match against the Hart Foundation was pretty good. I think that was like for me, I think that was like the best Rockers, the best match with the Rockers on his DVD. But as far as like near the end of this one where he talks about going solo and becoming the Heartbreak Kid, I'll admit that's this one this when this one like really starts getting good. His Intercontinental Championship match, against Bret Hart. This is back in June of 1992. Of course, for those of you, that I'm sure that already know anyway that that during '92, that's during this time period, that's when Bret Hart was the Intercontinental Champion for the second time. And so this during the time that he defends the championship against HBK. And so, like I say, this match is something I believe, throughout the history of their matches together, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. This match I believe is definitely like pretty underrated. The matches that they had at that time, somewhat underrated compared to the matches that they had before. Even though the WrestleMania one, was definitely considered the best and all that stuff, but as far as as far as matches, that were just just strictly strictly straight to business, without any of all the other outside stuff like the Montreal incident and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I believe this is something that was just strict, just straight, just straight to the book, just straight, just straight in the ring and things like that. So that's something that I admit, I was like, I really like, like I say, it was a great quality match, and in the DVD. When Shawn talks about this, he even admits it out of his own mouth. He was saying at that time, Bret was up here, I was like down here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, the Heartbreak Kid character, didn't really have, like a proven track record as far as being a singles competitor. Whereas, Bret the Hitman Hart, he was already established himself. Even the year before, like when he first left the Hart Foundation. So at that point, I could see, I could definitely see Shawn saying that. I definitely understand what he means, by that, because like I said, the Heartbreak Kid character was just developing. And anyway, I also like the match that that he had with the Bulldog back in '95, and I think like by '95, this was the same time. This was like shortly after Shawn Michaels won that Royal Rumble, after being the #1 entrant, making history and all that stuff. And so I believe by '95 that's when Shawn really really outgrew the mid-card division, the Intercontinental title division. You know what I'm saying? And I must admit, when I look back, I'm like, wow, Shawn was in tremendous shape, and see this match, this match right here against the Bulldog is one of many different examples of of how great he was. Because the thing about Shawn is that he was very versatile, and or rather like in this case he like the thing about Shawn is, that I think that really helps sort of cement his legacy is the fact that he's able to make his opponents better. He's able to make everybody else around him better. So in the ring, he was like a general. Not just a general, if not maybe even commander in the ring. So this match, was even a 5-star match in itself against the Bulldog. So like I say, this one, was definitely excellent. Shawn at his best. That's one of the reasons, why he is, the Heartbreak Kid. And so, with time, anyway, in disc one, at the end of disc one after this, after this match with the Bulldog, Michael Cole, and Shawn also going to talk about, the different contrasts and styles. In this case, against Sid Vicious. And so, of course, this is, short, back in September when, when Shawn was the Intercontinental Champion for the last time. When he was Intercontinental Champion for the last time, he defended the belt against Sid. And so, like I say, in '95, this is the time where I believe this was really the defining moment, defining year, so to speak, in Shawn's career. Besides '96, I would say '95, was definitely in my view like his best year. You know what I'm saying? And so even though he's an Intercontinental Champion, this is still a pretty good, a real good match. Against somebody like Sid, who had, like 4-5 moves or something. He wasn't that great, technically in the ring or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So and for him and Shawn, to have such a good match, that speaks, like I said, it speaks a lot about about how great Shawn Michaels was. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's quick and and agile, like the Heartbreak Kid, a technical, against a 6'9", if not 6'10", 6'10", 300-pound, monster, barely move like Sid. And like I say, that really speaks volumes about his career. And part 2, is on its way up right now.